I'm just interested in why you're doing this. So you did it for 40 years. Yeah, 1984, 40 years. And then you go into the private sector and you're not retired, but you get to do kind of what you want to do and make a real wage after working for the government all these years. And this problem is just so enormous. And the bureaucracy is so complex and hard to fight. And they always win in the end. Why would you take this job?
Well, because I love my country, first of all. We made more progress on the Southern border than ever before in the first Trump administration. I was ICE director. I'm taking an 82% pay cut.
Oh, I bet.
And I'm going back to a government paycheck. And thank God my wife supports me. She said if I don't take the job, she's going to divorce me because she don't want to keep me waking up every day, mad at the world because I didn't come back.
So your wife's not a liberal?
No, she's not. I say this many times because of things I've seen in my career. I mean, I stood in the back of a tractor trailer. I grew up in a town of 2,500 people. Either you milk cows, or you're a logger, or you worked at Fort Drum. It's only three things you did where I grew up. So I grew up in a town of 2,500. I fast forward. I'm standing in the back of a tractor trailer with 19 dead people at my feet that baked to death in back of that tractor trailer, including a 5-year-old little boy who suffocated to death. And on top of him was his father who was trying to protect him. During that investigation, they said that little boy begged his father not to let him die because he wanted to see his mom again. Begged over and over again. Here's a 5-year-old little boy who knew he was dying and asked his dad for help. And his dad can't help him, right?
No.
I've talked to little girls as young as 9 that were raped multiple times by members of the cartel. Not once, numerous times. Grown men crawled upon this little girl, took everything innocent and pure from her. Her life would never be the same. Look in her eyes. There wasn't life in her eyes. It's just, this little girl's devastated for life. And this happens every day. When they unsecured the border on purpose, I wrote an op-ed of Fox News, and I says, if Joe Biden wins the presidency, we lose the border. And when you lose the border, sex trafficking will skyrocket, child deaths will skyrocket, migrant deaths will skyrocket, American deaths will skyrocket from drugs coming across that border. I wake up every day pissed off for 4 years. And I've been on numerous networks complaining about it. So when President Trump calls me up, says, you've been complaining about it for 4 years. You want to come fix it? How do you say no? Yeah. First of all, you don't say no to the President of the United States. And second of all, I won't say no to secure. I love this country. I want to save some lives. Secure borders save lives. So I'm going to come back and do what I can. I guarantee you what we're going to do is going to save migrant lives. It's going to save American lives. And it's going to protect our national security. That's why I'm coming back. Not for the pay. I can tell you that. I'm coming back because after 3.5 decades doing this job, do you understand it? Do you understand the tragedies that happen around it? The more secure that border is, the more lives we save. So I can rest. When I retire for the third time, I can say, I did my part to save some lives. And maybe less children are being exploited and women are being exploited by these cartels. And my number one goal is seeing these cartels wipe off the face of the earth. And I think President Trump's the guy to do it.
Of everyone appointed, I think you got the best shot of winning because you know exactly what you want to do. With Donald Trump returning to the White House, this country has a unique opportunity, maybe our last opportunity, to save ourselves from the anti-American and anti-human left. But our efforts may be stymied by the deep state. That's what happened to the first Trump term. Permanent Washington stands in the way of all efforts to improve the lives of ordinary Americans. And right now they are scheming to do the same thing to the second Trump administration. They are determined to keep their stranglehold on power, regardless of elections, anti-democratically. That is a fact. So what do you do to fight them? How do you defeat the deep state? Well, one way you can is by supporting the Heritage Foundation, which is in Washington and understands exactly how it works in such a way that they're a threat and they're under attack. You know who's effective because they're the ones under attack. Heritage has a comprehensive plan to dismantle permanent Washington and restore the country to its democratic foundations. It's important. Visit heritage.org/Tucker to learn more and to support this critical effort. And when you make a gift today, you get a free pocket constitution to make certain that you are equipped with the founding principles on your person at all times. It's amazing to read it. Again, that's heritage.org/Tucker. 300,000 missing children. That's something else I've read reference to.
Look, over 500,000 children been trafficked into this country. And they get turned over to custody of HHS, Office of Refugee Resettlement, who find sponsors and release them to sponsors. I've talked to several whistleblowers say they weren't even fingerprinting the sponsors on many occasions and not doing proper vetting. We have a whistleblower who testified in front of Congress now 3 times that a lot of these children seem to be victims of trafficking. They're released to unvetted sponsors, and many children will be released to one sponsor. The one whistleblower said there was 11 young girls released to one male, single male. Maybe it's all innocent. Maybe it's not. But
there's nothing innocent about it. That's sick.
No. And look, the CBP One app, they shut that down because of massive fraud. One of the insiders in CBP told me, for example, one dead man sponsored over 1,600 people. Been dead for years. Massive fraud, massive trafficking involved. And when they talked about opening CBP One app to do that, I said at the time, before they even implement it, if you do this, it's going to create a huge trafficking network. Or if you're from Cuba, Nicaragua, Haiti, or Venezuela, you want to come to the United States under this CHNV program, you just got to find a sponsor who want to take care of you. How many sick pedophiles would be willing to sponsor anybody from one of those 4 countries to come live in the United States? Then after they get here, you own them. All you got to do is, you're their official sponsor. Without you, they can't stay. And what are these sick sponsors? Not all of them, but many of these are going to be predators and sick people. What are they going to do to these people who are trying to stay in this country? It's a huge human trafficking issue. I guarantee you.
And by human trafficking, is it mostly for prostitution?
Prostitution or forced labor, mainly, those 2 things.
So if you go to any construction site in the big construction site, they're building a data center or a mall. I know this because I know a guy who in the business just told me this. Anyone in the United States, there will be child prostitutes there from Latin America brought in by the cartels for the guys on the cruise. And I said, does everyone know this? He said, well, everyone knows it. I mean, it's just a fact. Every big construction site in the United States. Does anyone ever do anything about it? No, no one ever does anything about it.
Wait till January 21st.
I don't understand that, though.
No,
if everyone in the building trades knows that, how can law enforcement ignore it?
We're not going to starting January 21st.
Good.
But I can tell you, look, of the over 300,000 this government lost track of, I guarantee you, as I sit here today, we'll find many in forced labor. We'll find many in forced sex trafficking. That's a sad thing. We're going to find them. So that's why President Trump's saying it seriously. We got to save, especially we got to save these women and children that are put in this position. The immigration consequences will still come, but first we got to save them, get these kids. As far as the kids, over 300,000, we got to save these kids. A lot of them are living life hell every day, and I guarantee you we're going to find. ICE HSI has already found some of these children in meat packing plants, cleaning up entrails on a midnight shift. We're going to find some living with pedophiles. We're going to find some are in sex slavery. Some are going to be dead, but we got to find these children. And President Trump made that a third rail of priorities, and it's something that needs to be done. This administration stopped the DNA testing. They stopped the proper vetting. Under the Trump administration, we were having the same problem in the beginning. We did DNA testing. You weren't a family unless DNA testing showed you a family. And we did vetting. We didn't just vet the sponsor fully. We vetted everybody in their household to make sure there wasn't a pedophile living in that house, make sure there wasn't someone arrested with domestic violence in that house. This administration stopped all that because Becerra, the secretary of HHS, he gets on stage and brags. And I saw him on a stage bragging how quick we release these kids from government custody. We got a machine here. It's like the Ford plant. We get them in and out of here. Yeah, because you stopped the proper vetting, you stopped the DNA testing, and God help you for what you did to these children. Because a lot of these children are living a life of hell every day, so we got to find these kids.
It's unbelievable. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.